Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be teaching on how to make, keep, and multiply money. So that's how to make, keep, and multiply money. Now, the issue with a lot of people is they want to get wealthy, but then there is a process, there's a law of process to building wealth, but they don't want to obey that law of process, that wealth building law of process, because they've got things in the present, what I would call impulses that act against that. So, for instance, they have money and then they have an impulse to buy maybe an iPhone or a designer shoe, and then they spend that money. And if you're not able to sacrifice impulse in place of principles, you're never going to get wealthy. So, today we're talking about how to make, how to keep, and how to multiply money. Sometimes people think they're the same thing. They're not the same thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, there are only two ways by which you can make money. You can only make money one of two ways, either by a job or a business. That's how you make money, either by a job or a business. So, if you have a job, what's happening is that you're being paid for your time. So maybe you're working in a hospital as a nurse or you're working in a bank as a teller. So you're there not because you like what you're doing, but you're there because you like money. And so for the time that you're there, you're being paid. You're being paid for that time that you're there. So that's how you make money. Or you have a business and then you sell goods or services. And as you sell them, you make money. So you're trading your ideas for money. So that's how you make money. Then, how do you keep money? You keep money by controlling your expenditures. That's how you keep money, by controlling your expenditures. Or some people can say by controlling your greed. Now, if you look at your life, I don't know if that's the way God designed it or it just happens that way. Most people will make enough money to fulfill their needs, to meet their needs. So, what are your needs? Things that are essential to life: food, accommodation, clothing, and then healthcare. So, most people are going to make enough money to meet their needs. The problem with most people, and the reason why a lot of people are poor, is that there are things that they want, and then there are things that they need, and they spend money on the things that they want at the expense of things that they need. That's why you're going to see a friend of yours who has an iPhone 14 coming to meet you and telling you, oh, please, James, can you lend me some money to pay rent? Now, what is rent? Rent is a need. What is that iPhone 14? It's a want. You can get a cheap phone. You don't even need a phone. But maybe a phone might be necessary for you. Okay, you don't need an iPhone 14. But a lot of people will spend on their wants and then their needs are not met. So when you are not able to control your expenditure and your expenditure controls you, you're going to tend towards poverty because you're not going to have the discipline to spend on your needs. Because what people do on their way to building wealth is that they focus on their needs and then they take what's left, and that's the next stage, multiply money. They take what's left after meeting their needs and then they invest it. So the only way by which you can multiply money is by investment. And how are you going to get money for your investment? It's going to be from the money that you make. And then when you make that money, what's left over after you spend on your needs, that's what you're going to be what you're going to be investing. Now, some people they make the mistake of saving what's left. And you cannot get rich via saving. No bank is going to pay you an interest rate that is higher than the inflation rate. So you need to find a way to invest your money by yourself, because if you take your money and you put your money in the bank, there's a reason why they call it a savings account. You're not saving yourself, you're saving the bank, because what they're just going to do is they gather all the poor people's money that they put in so-called savings account, and then they give it to wealthy entrepreneurs to go and invest. And then when those wealthy entrepreneurs, they pay back the money with interest, they give you a teeny, teeny, tiny part of that interest, and then they take the rest. So you're not going to make money. It's a big mistake to save money in bank, except you're saving to invest. So maybe you want to invest in something and you don't have enough money, so you're saving to invest. So what you want to do with that money that's left over after you have met your needs, you want to invest it, and that's how you're going to multiply money. Now, what are you going to invest on? It depends on the times and the seasons. So, for instance, real estate is usually a good investment. But what you want to do with real estate, you want to buy low and then you want to sell high. Now, how are you going to buy low? You're going to buy low when there's been a recession and then the government is taking steps to fight that recession by increasing interest rates, which is going to affect the housing market, which is going to make it crash, and then you buy low. At any other period, it's not a good time to buy. Just wait. In every 10-year cycle, you're going to have at least one cycle like that, where there's a lot of inflation and there's recession and the government has to fight that. That's when you buy. But if you're not in that cycle, you don't want to put money in real estate. What you want to do, you want to also look at the stock market. If the stock market is crashing, like right now, the stock market has crashed. The top biggest banks, Bank of America, Deutsche Bank, Wachovia, Credit Suisse, all their shares have gone down. If you look at the Dow Jones Industrial, you see that it's also gone down. If you look at the S&P 500, you see that it's also gone down. So if you want to go into technology shares, so you want to look at the Nasdaq, it's also gone down. But what we know from the 96-year history of the stock market is that it will always come back up. So now is a good time to buy because it's low. So you buy low and then you hold until it becomes high. Then another thing that you can always do at any point in time is you invest in ETFs. Now, what are ETFs? ETFs are exchange traded funds. So whether it's commodity exchange traded funds or gold ETF or any kind of ETF, you want to put your money there because ETF basically are generally for things that are always necessary to human life. And what are things that are always necessary to human life? Commodities ETF, food, cocoa, rice, wheat, oil. That's what commodities ETF. Sometimes they call it the futures market. The futures market. Why they call it the futures market? Because you're investing right now for cocoa that's going to be coming to Europe or America in the next month. So it's the futures market. Or you want to invest in the gold ETF because gold is always relevant to human life. So, a lot of people don't know this. On your mobile phone, there's gold. Or rather, in your mobile phone, there's gold. In your electronics, your laptops, there's gold. In your television sets, there's gold. And then you have the traditional things that you do for gold. You use gold for jewelry. You also use gold in the medical market. So gold is always necessary. So you invest in the ETF. And then that's how you multiply money. And so when you multiply money, you have gotten to the top of the pyramid in wealth. That means that you can spend money almost anyhow. Why? Because you've got a money tree. Your money is multiplying. I'm going to give you an example. I sleep and I wake up. And then I make money from my books on Amazon and then on Barnes& Nobles, W.H. Smith, and all over the place. So I can afford to take that money. Maybe I slept and I woke up and I made about $250. I can take $100 of that and just buy something. That's because my money is multiplying. But if I'm taking money that I make from a job or a business and I spend it like that, I'm never going to get to the top of the pyramid. So now, I've taken time to explain this to you. Don't be like one of these people that say, oh, money is not everything. Look, I have not seen one wealthy person that says money is everything. Money is not everything. Nobody says that. You know? I mean, your phone is not everything. Your car is not everything. Let me just think about something that everybody. Water is not everything. Food is not everything. So likewise, money is not everything. When your mind starts to tell you that money is not everything, that's a dangerous place to be. That means your mind is now getting comfortable with poverty. And that's why your mind is rationalizing poverty and then giving you thoughts like that. You got to reject it. Make money. Because if you don't have money, you're not going to be of very good use to yourself and to other people. If you read scripture, look at the Good Samaritan. When he saw that man who needed medical care, he didn't just say, "Oh, I'm going to pray for you." He brought out money and he paid for that man. And that's what's going to happen. That's what you need to do. Now, my name is Ronald Mokri. I know what I've said is a mouthful. If you have questions arising from this, put them in the comment section of this video. But you got to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum, a Gmail email address, or a Telegram channel. I'm never going to approach you in the comment sections of my videos with numbers to call or to ask you for money. Those are spammers and scammers. Be careful. I'm the apostle of prosperity saying, God bless you.